Okay, I know what you're thinking. Another smart glasses video? Didn't you already cover the Ray-Ban Metas in another video? And yeah, I did. But there's a big difference between them because the Ray-Ban Metas are all about capturing content, while these AR glasses are about everything else that happens after the shoot. And honestly, I was skeptical too, until I edited an entire video using the 300-inch virtual monitor in these glasses. So these are the Rokid AR spatial glasses, but I'm not pitching this as a futuristic AR gimmick. I'm going to show you why this might actually replace the portable monitor or the iPad in your camera bag. And with Black Friday pricing at just $499, which is about 30% off, this is the cheapest that these have ever been. So let's talk about whether they're actually worth it for creators like us. So first, let's clear up what this actually is, because AR spatial glasses sounds really complicated. So you're actually getting two things. The Rokid Max2 glasses themselves, which are just 75 grams, which is lighter than most sunglasses. And also the Rokid Station 2, which is basically a little Android computer, which is about the size of a power bank. Or for me, I was thinking more like iPod. So the Station 2 is what runs everything. It's got the apps, it connects to Wi-Fi, and it sends the video signal to the glasses. So you can think of it like this. The glasses are your monitor, and the station is the computer. And that's really it. There's no complicated setup. The whole thing is contained. All you have to do is connect them. So when you first put these glasses on, you see this screen floating in front of you, and it's like having a private cinema screen that only you can see. And here's the cool part for us creators. You can have up to 3 app windows open at the same time. So I can be watching a tutorial, taking notes, have my shot list open, all at once, without having to Alt-Tab or juggle devices. So for editing on the go, this is kind of a game changer. So I just put these glasses on for the first time. And what's really interesting is that you can see through them. So you could, use these as shades if you're going outside. And I don't know what you guys think, but I think it looks fairly normal. Like the glasses do sit a little bit above my nose. So that part's a little unusual. But other than that, I don't feel like they wouldn't draw too much attention if you saw someone walking around with them. Now, one thing that sets these apart from other AR glasses, and this was a big deal for me, is the built-in vision adjustment. So there's a little dial above each eye. It adjusts for nearsightedness from 0 all the way up to -6 diopters. So that means if you're nearsighted like me, you don't have to wear your regular glasses underneath these, which would be super uncomfortable, and I don't even know if you could actually do that. So you can just dial it in for your vision. Now, if your prescription is stronger than -6, they also sell prescription lens inserts. But I think for most people, the built-in adjustment is enough. There's also something called IPD adjustment, which stands for interpupillary distance, which is just the distance between your pupils. So this one you adjust in the software, and it just makes sure that the image looks really crisp and is properly aligned for your eyes. And it takes about 30 seconds to set up. Other AR glasses like X-Real don't have this, and you actually need to order custom prescription inserts or wear your glasses underneath them. So I think it's pretty neat that Rokid just has these built in. So let's talk about the two main ways that you would actually use this. So first is what they call the multi-screen mode, which is where you might have those 3 windows open that I mentioned earlier. You can resize them, move them around in your virtual space, and switch between different aspect ratios. So if you want an ultra-wide 21:9 window for video editing, you can do that. Or you can do a really narrow window for a chat app on the side. So it's really useful and versatile for multitasking. So when I'm editing, I'll have a main timeline in the center, reference footage on the left, and maybe my music library or my email over on the right. So it's kind of like having a 3-monitor setup, but I can do this without having my computer with me. I can be doing it in a coffee shop, just wearing the glasses. So here's where things get really good though, the giant screen mode. So you can take any app like Netflix, YouTube, your video editor, whatever, and you can blow it up to a virtual 300-inch screen. And after trying it out, I really do think it's better than trying to stare at my phone or a laptop. And also you can move it around. So if you're laying down and the screen is too low, you can lift it up. Or if you want it closer, you can bring it in. Also, it supports full 3D video. So if you've got 3D movies or even spatial videos that you've shot in your iPhone, you can watch those with proper depth. So in terms of content, this runs Android, and it's also got the Google Play Store, which means that Netflix actually works and you get full HD streaming. It's the same thing with YouTube, Disney Plus, Prime Video, Apple TV. Basically, all of the major streaming services work really well. So beyond streaming, you also have gaming, productivity apps, social media, basically anything that you can use on an Android tablet. Rokid is even building their own app ecosystem as well. So they currently have about 35 spatial apps. So these spatial apps are different because they're designed for the AR environment. So think interactive 3D experiences. Now it is still early days, but it's really cool to see what developers are currently building. Now let's talk about gaming for a second. So the Rokid Max2 glasses can connect directly to gaming consoles, PCs, and also phones. So if you've got something like a Nintendo Switch, a PlayStation, an Xbox, you just plug it in via USB-C, and now you've got a massive portable screen for gaming. There's even wireless game streaming with apps like Steam Link, Moonlight, or PS Remote Play. So you can be in bed, on an airplane, in a car, and be able to stream your PC games on a 300-inch virtual screen. The glasses also have 3DOF support, which is 3 degrees of freedom, which means it tracks your head rotation. So if you turn your head, the whole game world moves with you. Now it's not full VR, but it does add to the immersion. Beyond gaming, these connect to basically anything. So smartphones, tablets, laptops. If it has a USB-C output or supports wireless display, you can probably use it with these glasses. And that flexibility is huge. Now, in terms of comfort, these weigh 75 grams. So for context, that's about as heavy as a pair of sunglasses. The temples are soft, and the nose pads are really well cushioned. They even give you a spare pair of nose pads just in case you need to replace them. And I've been able to wear these for hours at a time without any discomfort. There are a couple of smart features that are also worth mentioning. So there's something called Sport Mode, which locks the screen to your head movement. So if you're on a plane and you tilt your head, the screen moves with you, which is really useful if you're in motion. There's also Reading Mode, which brings the screen closer for comfortable reading. And yes, you can charge these while you're using them, which is really handy if you're on a long flight or trying to do a long work session. In terms of the controls, there's a touchscreen on the station and also a ray casting pointer system. So it's pretty intuitive. You basically just point at what you want and then you click. It took me maybe a few minutes to get used to using it. Now, some of you are probably wondering, how does this compare to other options? So let's do a really quick rundown. Compared to other AR glasses like X-Real or Vitour, Rokid has that vision adjustment built in, as well as a 300-inch giant screen mode, sport and reading modes, and arguably a wider app ecosystem since it runs on full Android with Google Play support. And so those are some pretty big advantages. But then there's the elephant in the room, the Apple Vision Pro. Now I have to admit, I haven't actually tried them, but based on the specs alone, the Rokid AR Spatial does a lot of the same things, like multi-window multitasking, giant virtual screens, 3D content, and immersive apps. And it does it for just $500 if you get them in the Black Friday sale, which is 1/7 of the price of the $3,500 Vision Pro. Is it as polished or as powerful as the Vision Pro? No. But if you're just going to be watching content or using it for productivity or gaming, then the Rokid gets you 80% of the way there for a fraction of the price. And it's way more portable. This fits into your bag or your pocket without a second thought. So here's the bottom line. If you're someone who edits on the go, or you travel a lot, or you just want a private massive screen for watching content, the Rokid AR Spatial is legitimately useful. It's not a gimmicky tech demo. It can be a tool that solves real problems. And right now for Black Friday, it's just $499, which is 30% off, and it's the lowest price ever. The deal ends after Cyber Monday, so if you're interested, don't sleep on it. There's also other things in their store for up to 60% off too, and I've got my discount code linked in the description below. Rokid's been making these AR glasses since 2014, and this is their 3rd generation product. They showed it off at CES 2025, and they actually won a bunch of Best of CES awards. They're also building their own ecosystem, and they're genuinely trying to make AR practical for regular people. And honestly, after using these, I think that they're onto something. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. And if you want to see more reviews like this, practical tech that actually makes sense for creators, then let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.